All right, we should be good, guys. We should be live. We got a shorter slate tonight, just a 5-game slate. But as always, guys, we're going to talk through things. If you have any questions tonight, you can throw those in chat. We'll be live till about 6:30 for 20-25 minutes or so. We'll answer questions, give you guys kind of my thoughts on the slate, where my head's at. And yeah, hopefully we can all win some money tonight. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning into the stream every day. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new, hit that subscribe button as well. And yeah, if you got questions, start throwing those in chat. We did just get word that the LeBron and AD are officially out, so we were waiting for that news. LeBron and Anthony Davis were both doubtful, and they're officially out, so that's good. Got that news. We'll definitely have to pay attention to the Lakers starting lineup because that will be very important. Could dictate, some value for today. But what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Aaron Tillery says first. Hey, congrats on being first, man. Top value plays today. I would say for value, you're probably going to be looking to the Lakers just because they're the team that, is kind of shorthanded. So without LeBron, without AD, it's going to depend on what the starting lineup looks like. But, Malik Monk, THT, Carmelo, Dwight Howard, I think these are guys I'm looking to for value. I don't think I would be playing like all those guys in one lineup, but picking a couple Lakers, that's kind of where I'm thinking value's at for today. We could get value from Utah. It just sucks that that's the one late night game, and we're not going to have Utah news before lock. But like if Rudy Gobert is out, if Bojan's out, if Daniel House is out, then there's going to be some value from Utah. Greg Monroe might start. He's only 3K. Like that's a value play we could maybe look to. But right now, I think the Lakers are kind of where you're looking to for value. I would say, depending on what the starting lineup looks like, Carmelo, THT, Malik Monk, I like those guys for value. Harden, Durant, or Irving. Give me Harden there. Give me Harden. Westbrook, Porzingis, or DeRozan. I would say Westbrook. Sirius Jones, what's up, my man? What's up? Top stud to pay for. Think Irving, good play. Were the value other than the Lakers? Yeah, outside of the Lakers, there's not a ton of other value because really all these teams are kind of full strength. Milwaukee's full strength. Philly is at full strength. Detroit. They're missing Jeremy Grant. So, like, if you consider Marvin Bagley a value, I think he's a good value, but, he's not that cheap. So, like, the Lakers are kind of the team where you're getting value from today. Again, Utah, there could be value on Utah, but it all depends on who winds up playing there. If everyone plays that's questionable, then there really won't even be value on Utah either. Maybe the Wizards, like, Satoransky's been playing like 30 minutes, and he's still cheap, so, like, that's a guy you could consider for value. Denny Avia's been playing well off the bench, and he's only 5'1", so, like, that's a fine value. But outside the Lakers, guys, there's not a ton of cheap plays on this slate, that's for sure. I appreciate all you do. I want to know, who would you say is the best value at point guard tonight? Value point guard? Well, Malik Monk's point guard eligible, and I think he's a good value with LeBron and AD out. So I would say Malik Monk. Malik Monk or maybe Satoransky, but if you can get to Monk, he'd be the guy I'd like the most as a value play. What's up, Noah, my guy? Thanks for your time and advice. Appreciate you, Galvin. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Thank you for the kind words, buddy. Mitchell or Vucevic? Give me Donovan Mitchell. Thank you for your service, Noah. Hey, Greg, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Is Powell from Dallas a good value pick? I love the chat, my man. Mr. Aries. Mr. Aries? I don't know what you're talking about there, Charles. But is Dwight Powell a good value? I think Dwight Powell's in play. Matchup against the Lakers, I think, is fine. Do worry about this game going small, and maybe we see Dwight Powell's minutes get cut a little bit, but Dwight Powell probably plays like 25 minutes. What's his price? I haven't even looked at him today. He's 4-1. Like, if he plays like 25 minutes, he's a fine value. But I don't know if this is really a matchup where they're going to need size out there because, like I said, I think this game could wind up going small. But again, there's not much value today, so I think Dwight Powell's fine. Fastest play-in pace teams tonight. The fastest paced teams, let's see. The Lakers, I know they're still one of the top teams in pace. Lakers on the season are 7th in pace. The Bucks are 4th. So the Bucks play fast. They're on the slate. The Lakers play fast. They're on the slate. Both those teams are top 10 in pace, Lakers and Bucks. So if you're looking for some fast-paced teams, those are the two you got. I mean, you can just kind of look at implied totals, and that'll tell you what you need to know. So right now, if you look at the implied totals for tonight's games, the highest total is Detroit and Brooklyn, 234. And then Milwaukee, Philly is 232. Chicago, Washington's 223.5. Lakers, Dallas is 219.5. And then Utah Jazz is 217.5. So that's if you're ever looking for like pace, I mean, you can find pace stats on NBA.com, but you can also just look at the totals, the game totals, and that'll really dictate, you know, what games are expected to be fast-paced, high-scoring. Bagley or Drummond? I like both. If I had to pick one, though, I would side with Bagley, just because I think Bagley's minutes are a little bit more secure. THT or Killian Hayes? Give me THT. My man Noah, Luka versus Embiid. I would say Luka. I would take Victor. I would take Luka. I would take Luka. Only concern I have with Luka tonight is blowout risk, but if the Lakers can keep the game close, I think Luka should smash, because the Lakers aren't going to have anyone to stop him. Satoransky or Dragic? Give me Satoransky. Also, DeRozan. I mean, I think DeRozan's fine. Zach LaVine was questionable, but he's going to play. So, like, with LaVine, DeRozan, Vooch all playing, again, like, none of them are priority plays for me, but if I had to play one of the Bulls guys, like, DeRozan would be my first play. He'd be the first guy I'd pick. DeRozan would have looked a lot more appealing if LaVine would have sat, but since LaVine's playing, you know, DeRozan's not someone I'm prioritizing, but he's fine. He's in play. Brunson, Drummond, or Bagley? Again, I would take Bagley there. What's up, Noah Claxton or Lopez? Give me Brook Lopez. Satoransky or THT? Give me THT. Thoughts on Bagley and Stewart? I definitely like Bagley just because I think the minutes will be there without Jeremy Grant. You know, Isaiah Stewart, his minutes were really high last game. I don't know if that's something that continues, though. You know, Isaiah Stewart's minutes have kind of been all over the place this season. But the matchup against Drummond, I think, is pretty good. You know, if they want size out there against Drummond, then you would think Stewart's going to be out there a decent amount. So, like, Stewart's fine. But I like Bagley quite a bit. I think Bagley's a good play. Howard or Drummond? I would definitely take Drummond straight up. Last man in at Util. Hartenstein, Denny, or Dragic? Give me Denny there. Give me Denny. Hey, Noah, you okay today? I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Is Dosunmu viable? I mean, I think Dosunmu's fine. He did play big minutes last game, and he's been playing pretty good minutes. He just hasn't really been that productive. You know, Dosunmu, I would have felt a lot better about him if LaVine was out. But, yeah, I think in 30, 32 minutes off the bench, you know, Ayo is a fine play. Again, the production's not really been there, but the minutes have been solid, and, you know, minutes... In the end, that's what we're looking for. We want guys to be on the court, and right now, Ayo's getting those 30-plus minutes. Matchups against the Wizards, I think, is pretty good. It's just that it's really hard for Ayo to put up a ceiling game when he's playing with LaVine, Vooch, and DeRozan. He really benefits when one of those guys are out. Thoughts on Porzingis? I think Porzingis is a fine option. I mean, right now, he's just dominating the usage for the Wizards. He's playing, you know, pretty good minutes, 30, 32 minutes. He's been taking a ton of shots. He's rebounding a ton. He's been getting assists. He's just been stuffing the stat sheet. So, yeah, I have no issue with Porzingis. I think the matchup against Chicago is pretty good as well. Thoughts on Donovan Mitchell? Not super high on Donovan Mitchell today. I think there's other guys. I'd rather pay up for like Giannis and Luka and Joel Embiid. Westbrook for the same price. I think I'd rather go to. Like, I'm not. Donovan Mitchell's never someone I really prioritize, and on this slate, he's not someone I'm going to try and get to. I think he'll be very low owned, so if you want to play a low owned Donovan Mitchell, you know, go for it. But I would not be building around him personally. Who are the top 3 studs? How would you rank them? I mean, when it comes to like Giannis, Luka, Embiid, KD, Kyrie, like all these guys have a ton of upside. It's so hard to rank these guys on a nightly basis because they all project so closely. They could all put up 60 fantasy points any night. If I had to make a choice, I would probably say Luka number 1, Giannis number 2, and then Joel Embiid number 3. That's probably how I'd rank my 3 favorite studs, I guess. Only concern I have with Luka is just the game could blow out against the Lakers, but the Lakers can keep it close. I feel pretty good about Luka having a pretty good game, just because, man, the Lakers' defense has been so bad, and they don't have anyone to stop Luka. You think Irving's a good stud to pay for? I mean, Kyrie's always got big-time upside. It's just that when he's playing with Kevin Durant, it's hard to predict when Kyrie's going to have those big games. I did take the over on Kyrie's points prop today. I'm hoping he scores at least 25 points. But will he put up like 60 fantasy points and be, you know, a top stud option? I don't think so. Like normally when Kyrie and KD are both healthy, it's tough to say they're like the best pay up options, especially when you have Giannis and Luka and Joel Embiid on this slate. Even Harden is, you know, a lot cheaper than those guys. Winning Gabriel in play, I'm fine with winning Gabriel. He should start here. He should play 25 to 30 minutes. You know, he's not shown a ton of upside so far with the Lakers, but there's going to just be so much opportunity for all these guys with LeBron out. Last time LeBron was out, you know, Gabriel had a decent game against Philly, played 30 minutes, had 23 DraftKings points. Again, there's not a ton of value today, so I'm fine with winning Gabriel at 4K. I probably would rather get to like Carmelo if I could. THT, I feel better about. But yeah, no issue with Gabriel. Also, my lineup: Luka, Satoransky, Brunson, Dosunmu, Stanley Johnson, Carmelo, Stewart, Giannis, and Embiid. Luka, Satoransky. So you went full stars and scrubs, I guess. I mean, there's definitely like, I do question the upside on Io. I question the upside on Stanley Johnson. I feel like there's some guys who are kind of forcing in there just to get the studs, but hey, that's your lineup, Damien. You roll with it if you feel good about it. Is leaving 400 on the table cool? Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, that's no issue with leaving that much. I mean, you on a 5-game slate, you can leave $500, $600 on the table. Usually, if you're usually the max amount you want to leave is like, if you're leaving $1,000 on the table, that's probably too much, because at that point you could use that salary to upgrade to a better play that projects better. But $400 is fine to leave on the table. Mitchell or Cade? I would take Cade Cunningham straight up. 4,300 util already have Sato. I would take THT. I would take THT. Jackson Bay or Harris? Give me Sadiq Bey there. Giannis or Embiid? Again, I would say Giannis, but God, like it's just so close between Giannis and Embiid. They project for like the same amount like every slate. Going up against each other, you would think both are probably going to play well here. I really don't know. It's a coin flip, man. Like when people come in here and ask like, should I play Giannis or should I play Luka? It's just like I can't answer that question. I mean, those are two guys that literally project for 60. They both project for 60. So it's like it's such a close call between all those studs. Again, I think my favorite today is Luka, but you guys roll with who you want. And that's just because I think, you know, I'm going to be playing a good amount of these Lakers guys for value. So I think it makes a lot of sense to correlate those Lakers guys with Luka and just, you know, kind of hope the game stays close. Gabriel or THT? I would prefer THT. I just think he has more upside. What's up, Noah? Hope all is well, my guy. Hey, Anthony, appreciate you, my man. Hope all is well with you. Clippers not on a minutes limit like Coffee or Man. Are they in play? I'll be honest, with Paul George playing today, Paul George is going to make his return. With him playing, I'm off all the Clippers. Like, I have zero interest in any Clippers today. Because Reggie Jackson's on a minutes limit, Marcus Morris is on a minutes limit, Nicholas Batum's on a minutes limit, and then Paul George coming back is just going to take usage away from everyone else. So, yeah, I'm just like full fading the Clippers. I don't think you really have to play any Clippers today. 5,800 at util already got Monk, Bagley, and Stewart. Let's see. I would probably take Drummond if you don't have Drummond. I would probably take him there. 3,400 at Ford. Let's see. I mean, you got Rudy Gay, but like Rudy Gay, I would only be playing if Gobert and Bojan are out. Because if Gobert and Bojan play, I'm not really interested in Rudy Gay. Same goes for like Pascal. I mean, maybe Stanley Johnson. Like I really question the upside on Stanley Johnson, but last time LeBron was out, Stanley Johnson did play 35 minutes and had, you know, a good game, 32 DK points. So maybe Stanley Johnson is your best bet there. Yeah, I'll be honest, there's not many forwards that cheap I feel great about. Maxey, Jackson, Dinwiddie, or Clarkson. Give me Jordan Clarkson there. Also, Reggie Jackson. I mean, Reggie Jackson's on a minutes limit right now, and Paul George is back, so I have zero interest in Reggie Jackson. Connaughton for value. I'm not really into Pat Connaughton. Like, the only time I ever consider Pat Connaughton is when, you know, there's guys out, and right now for Milwaukee, they're pretty much at full strength. Like, nobody's out right now. I mean, DeAndre Bembry's out, but that doesn't really impact anything. So, I mean, Pat Connaughton probably plays like 25 minutes off the bench. but I really question his upside. He's gonna have to get hot from 3 to like put up a big game. I think you get more upside from those Lakers guys, playing without LeBron. They're just gonna get more usage. Thoughts on Brunson tonight? I mean, the matchup against the Lakers is really good, so like I wouldn't be surprised if Brunson or Dinwiddie had a good game. It's always tough to predict like when they're gonna have good games. I know Brunson is coming off a big game. He had like 40 Draftkings points last game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Brunson has another good game tonight, but I think from Dallas, I'm really just kind of focused on Luka. That's the guy that I really want to be going to from Dallas. But Brunson is fine. I don't hate the play. Cade or Westbrook? I would probably take Westbrook straight up. I know Westbrook's been terrible, but I really think without LeBron, like the upside for Westbrook is just really, really high. Like Westbrook could put up a 30-point triple-double tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised. He could also have a completely shit game and put up 30 Draftkings points, but I think the ceiling on Westbrook's just higher. Rui or Melo? I would take Carmelo. Any Powell love? We talked about Dwight Powell earlier. I think the matchup's fine, but like I do worry about this Lakers game going small. I don't know if they're gonna need Dwight Powell out there. I think Dwight Powell really benefits when they need his size out there, and I just don't know if that's gonna be the case tonight. So I'm not super high on Dwight Powell. I know some other people have asked questions about him. I'm personally not going there, but in the end, you guys can make those decisions for yourself. Monk and Brunson or Dinwiddie and Maxey? Man, that's really close. Give me Dinwiddie and Maxey, but that's really close. Clarkson or Bey? I would probably take Sadiq Bey. Westbrook and Kyrie or Luka and Tomas Satoransky? Give me Westbrook and Kyrie for sure. Rank Wizards value? I mean, I don't know if there's really much value on the Wizards. I mean, Denny, I think Denny Avdia at 5,100 is my favorite cheap play from the Wizards, just because his minutes have been solid off the bench. He's been playing 30, 32 minutes a night. But I'm not really interested in Corey Kispert. I'm not really interested in Ish Smith. Raul Neto's been out of the rotation. Daniel Gafford's only going to play 15 minutes, so there's really not much value on the Wizards, to be honest with you. Denny Avdia is the one guy that I'm interested in, and then I think Satoransky is fine, but I really question those guys' upside. We just haven't really seen a big ceiling from Rui, from Kispert, from Satoransky, so they're just guys I'm not ever excited to roster. Favorite plays in the 3,800 to 4,100 range? Let's see. I mean, THT at 4,100, especially if he starts, I think THT is my favorite play there. You have Satoransky, you have Gabriel. Dwight Howard, if he's still starting, I think Dwight Howard's in play. So probably top 2 guys in that range will probably be THT and Dwight Howard. And then probably Satoransky, Gabriel, 3rd and 4th options. Thoughts on Finley and Pope? Who's talking about? Dorian Finney-Smith? I mean, again, Dorian Finney-Smith is another guy that I really question his upside. He's out there for defense. He's going to shoot threes, and you just got to hope that he gets hot from 3 to put up a ceiling game. He might guard Westbrook, so if he's guarding Westbrook, there's definitely opportunity for him to get a lot of steals and blocks because Westbrook just turns the ball over so much. So maybe, but yeah, I really question the upside on a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith. Any thoughts on Terrence Mann? Again, I'm fine just full fading the Clippers. With Paul George back, with some guys on minutes limits, I mean, Terrence Mann, I think his minutes will still be pretty solid. I think he'll still play 30-plus minutes. But his upside playing with Paul George now is just not nearly as high. So, I'm really not on the Clippers. I'd be surprised if someone from the Clippers puts up, a huge game tonight. I'm on FanDuel, but I got Westbrook, Tomas Satoransky, Monk, Irving, Avia, Hernan Gomez, Porzingis, Bagley, Vooch. Well, Hernan Gomez, I'm assuming you're talking about Juancho Hernan Gomez. I think that's it's only Hernan Gomez on the slate. Juancho Hernan Gomez, I would only be playing if Gobert... Well, I guess Gobert doesn't matter, but if Bojan plays, I would be fully off Hernan Gomez because Hernan Gomez, he's really been benefiting with Bojan out. The minutes have been there. You would think if Bojan returns, Hernan Gomez is going to go back to the bench, and who knows how many minutes he plays off the bench? Probably only 10. He might not even play for all we know. So that's that's one you gotta just kind of keep an eye on, because if Bojan plays, if Gobert plays, those Utah guys, those cheap guys like Hernan Gomez and Rudy Gay and Pascal, you don't want to have those guys in your lineup because they're just not going to get the minutes. So that's the one thing I would keep an eye on. The rest looks solid though. What do you think about Porzingis? We mentioned Porzingis earlier. I have no issue with Porzingis today. His role has been really good with the Wizards. He's been playing solid minutes. His usage is really high. He's scoring a ton. He's getting rebounds. He's been getting assists as well. Like, he's just doing everything. And I think the matchup's good. So, yeah, I have no issue with Porzingis. Reggie Bullock or THT? I would prefer THT. Cade or Russ? I would prefer Russ. Is 4 Lakers too many? I think if you are playing 4 Lakers, you probably want to run it back with someone on Dallas. Like right now, my lineup, I have 4 Lakers, but I also have Luka. So I think if you're playing 4 Lakers, you're assuming the game stays close, and you know that Dallas Lakers game is one of the games tonight that does have a lot of blowout risk. So I think it's fine to play 4 Lakers. If you do that though, might want to run it back with someone on Dallas, preferably Luka, but you know, it's your choice there. Because I would be fine playing Russ, Monk, Carmelo, THT, all in the same lineup. I don't have an issue with that. Or even, you know, Monk, Carmelo, THT, Howard. Like, I think you could do that too. Grayson Allen love off the Duke run. I think you're kind of reaching for straws there. Yeah, maybe since Duke's playing so well in the NCAA championship, maybe that'll mean that Grayson Allen will play well tonight. We'll see. But yeah, I think you're just kind of reaching there. Would you feel safer playing Stanley Johnson over Hernan Gomez? I don't want to be at lock and then have the bog play be stuck with no pivots. I would probably, yeah, Kobe, I would probably do that. I don't feel great about Stanley Johnson either. I really question his upside, but man, if you have Hernan Gomez in your lineup and then Bojan plays and Gobert plays, you're going to be shit out of luck. So I would probably just roll with Stanley Johnson and hope he can get you like 20 fantasy points. Luka and Westbrook or Harden and Giannis? Man, that's a close one. I think I would take Harden and Giannis, but that is really close. Bagley or Drummond straight up? I would take Bagley straight up just because I think the minutes are more secure for Bagley. But I like both those guys quite a bit today. Russell Westbrook, one of the top plays tonight. I mean, I like Westbrook quite a bit. I know Westbrook has been really disappointing lately, and just, you know, we've seen Westbrook just be so bad, even when LeBron's been out. But last time LeBron was out, Westbrook did play pretty well. He had like 45 DK points. He almost had a triple-double. The minutes have been really good for Westbrook. We know he's going to be productive when he's out there. At least he should be without LeBron and without AD. So don't love the matchup against Dallas, but I think just the way Russell Westbrook can stuff the stat sheet and with the minutes he should play, with how much usage he should get, I'm fine rolling the dice on him. And I don't think his ownership's going to be super, super high today. Like right now on DraftKings, Westbrook's projected for 11% ownership. So like I'm fine rolling with Westbrook at 11% ownership. I think Westbrook's still got that. He's still got 50, 60 point upside when LeBron and AD are out. Just because when LeBron and AD are out, Westbrook can really take over if he wants to. Now, will he? That's the question, but the opportunity should be there. Thanks, Noah. You're the man. Let's get that money. Hey, Richard, let's get it, my man. Let's get it. Monk, THT, Sato, DeRozan, Drummond, Luka, Gabriel, Gobert. I mean, I like that, Ryan. I would say have a plan in place in case Gobert gets ruled out. So let's say Gobert sits. I'm assuming you have Gobert in your util spot, maybe. Like if Gobert gets ruled out, just kind of know like who you're going to swap to. I mean, I guess at that point you kind of have to swap to Reggie Jackson, which I don't know if that's a swap I'd want to make, but I guess that's the risk you take rostering Gobert. I would think Gobert plays tonight, but just keep an eye on that. Obviously, you know that though. For Lakers, Luka, Bagley, Porzingis. Hey, Dirty Dan, you got a very similar lineup to mine. I'll say that. On FanDuel, Melo and Stanley price the same. So in your opinion, Melo over Stanley for sure. I would definitely would take Carmelo over Stanley Johnson straight up. I want to try with Greg Monroe. He should crush if Gobert sits. Yeah, Greg Monroe wasn't in the player pool yesterday when I made my video, but it looks like DraftKings added him, and he's minimum salary. I don't know if Yahoo added him. He's not on Yahoo, but he is on DraftKings. I mean, Yeah, Greg Monroe, if Gobert were to get ruled out and Greg Monroe were to start, he would be a terrific value play because Greg Monroe, he's a fantasy point per minute legend. He's a stud when he gets minutes. I mean, we saw him play in I think he was with Minnesota earlier this season, and he had some massive games in limited minutes with Minnesota. So it would be really risky to put Monroe in your lineup because then at that point, if Gobert plays, you're just stuck and you can't really swap to anything else. But man, Monroe would be a really good value play if Gobert sits and he were to start. I would be surprised if Gobert sits though. I think Gobert will play. Gun to my head, I say Gobert plays tonight. But alright guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully I was able to answer all you guys' questions. We will be back tomorrow with a much bigger slate, really big slate tomorrow. I think we got like 11 or 12 games on Wednesday. So I'll see you guys in the stream tomorrow. Always bring your questions. I'll get them answered. We'll talk through everything tomorrow, and hopefully we can all win some money tonight, and do the same next week or tomorrow, and moving forward. So wish you guys the best of luck. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out, fellas.